Hi, all my crafty friends out there. I have a journal to share that is very near and dear to my heart. I don't, most of you probably have heard of Elizabeth Wilder at Elsie Bell's Bookshelf. If you have not, you should definitely check her out. She makes some amazing journals and stuff, and digikits and all that. Right now, as most of you probably know, she just lost her husband, and she is a stay-at-home mom like myself, and she has 5 children. So not only is it an emotional time for her and her kids, but it is also she's got to worry about how she's going to provide for 5 children on top of that. And I just could not even begin to imagine what she's going through. So, I think about 10 days ago, 10 or 11 days ago, something like that, she asked me how much I would charge to make her a journal for her children. She said that she wanted something, they wanted something that they could write down their memories and put photos of their dad in. And of course, I told her I was not going to charge her for something like that. She needs all the help she can get right now. Speaking of which, if any of you guys would be willing to help her out, I know that she appreciates every little bit. I mean, even if you just buy $2 of journaling cards from her shop, or I mean, she has digikits and she has custom orders and she has all kinds of stuff. Or I'm pretty sure she even has like a funding thing set up to where you can just donate money. But I know every little bit helps right now. I couldn't imagine losing my husband, and I couldn't imagine trying to keep it together for my kids in a time like that. And I definitely could not imagine trying to take care of 5 kids with no job and no family that even lives in the same state. So, anyways, sorry about all my rambling. It would mean a lot to myself and to her if you could help her out. She asked that it be masculine, which I have never done a masculine journal before. I always thought if I did, I would do it like very grungy, vintage, Tim Holtz, like French industrial or something. But she also asked that it not be vintage. And if any of you guys know me or watch me, I coffee dye and distress literally everything. Like even little pieces of ephemera, I coffee dye and ink them. So I've never done a masculine journal. I have never done a journal that wasn't vintage. And I definitely have never done a journal that was 4 inches on the spine. I mean, it is massive. And I am very slow. Like, normally it takes me so long. So, not only is it the biggest book I've ever done, but I also had to do it crazy fast. Like, I could get a traveler's notebook done in 10 or 11 days, but to create a cover and do all this, I'm very amazed that I even was able to do it. And on top of that, this Monday, my son was out of school for Columbus Day, I believe it was, and that night we had made plans, for his day off of school, so I didn't really get any work done that day. And then that night he got 103.9 fever and was homesick all week. And he had a perfect attendance, so he was very upset about missing school, let alone 4 days of school. And on Wednesday, my youngest son, who's 5, he also got sick. It was just crying and puking. So not only was this something way out of my element and huge and in a short amount of time, but it was made even shorter by not getting much work done all week because I had 2 sick kids to take care of. And okay, I think I'm almost done rambling. Let's get into the journal. I have only decorated the first 3 signatures. Again, with everything going on, it's just been crazy. And Elizabeth is very talented, and her little daughter Faith also makes journals, so that's going to leave them 2 to play with. I'm going to send, I think I have a whole envelope full of stuff, ephemera for signature 4 and a whole one for signature 5, because I divided everything up into signatures, you know, when I cut out and inked all my ephemera. And then I also have another one of like random stuff that I had pulled out and was maybe going to use. Oh, and then I'm also going to send her some of this vinyl leather to make tabs with, and some extra photo frames and page tabs and all of that. But anyways, okay. And another thing is, I promise this is it. I've only ever done like one theme before. Like, I might add a couple things, like if it's nature, I might add like butterflies or, you know, like woodland creatures or something like that. But this, the themes that she gave me was Star Wars, Walking Dead, Skulls, Space, Moon, Halloween, Jazz, and Drummer. So I did not know how I was going to make all of that flow and work together. Hopefully she likes it. And it actually, I had printed out tons and tons and tons of Star Wars stuff. Like, that was like the most stuff that I had printed. And she had said Star Trek. So there is no Star Wars or Star Trek in this journal. So it also cut down a lot of my ephemera. But getting to it, I tried with sick kids, a short amount of time. I tried, and with all these random stuff, I try to make it flow together and keep it as non-vintage as possible, although you can still see some of it showing through. I can't help it. It has 5 signatures. It's got the long stitch with the link stitch variation. I thought maybe if she wanted, each kid could have a signature since she has 5 kids, but I mean, that's up to her. I got this fabric at Joann's. I think it's vinyl, but it looks like leather. And then I found some script that seemed a little more, you know, masculine to me than the normal script, and it's black. That was another thing. She wanted it black, red, and orange. Those were the colors. So then I got this little memories thing from Michaels right there. And then I got some book corners. I wanted to do silver to match, but they were too skinny. I had a hard enough time trying to get these ones on. And then she had sent me an image that she wanted printed out for, and she wanted it on the inside cover as a pocket with a manila tag and a black string. And the photo was taken on an old camera, so it is very grainy. But I seriously cannot even begin to imagine what she's going through, and I could not think of this journal, one of my journals, being used for anything more precious than for children to put photos and stuff about their father who passed. I mean, it's heartbreaking that she's going through it, and it's overwhelming that she would ask me to do something this important and special. So here goes. Here's the photo that she sent of her and James. Both of our husbands are named James. And there's the tag she asked for, and I used black and white baker's twine. And then it's just got some paper behind it, so more writing room. And since there's so many themes and stuff, there's no kits. I just kind of pulled out all of my more masculine-ish papers. So we got this kind of like Carhartt type one. And for the space, I have a whole bunch of old vintage encyclopedias. And one had a bunch of space stuff. So I pulled out a bunch of pages and images. And this one I backed on coffee dyed paper for journaling card. Then we got some Tim Holtz paper pad for the Halloween. That's out of his Halloween paper pad. Some bushy eyelash trim, and it says the best moments, so they can write. And then there's some like music stuff. I actually got this from her and a pack of her digipapers that de-stash that I bought. But it's a music quote. She said he liked jazz, but that he was also a drummer. He actually played the drums, so that goes with both. I'm going to have to speed up now because of much time. This is also from her, and to me it seems like jazz looking. And then there's a drum, and so you just got a Rolodex card, some lined paper, and then some paper to back behind it. These are great because they break up the page, add some color, and give you more things to write on. So here's an drum image I printed out. Here's just a little die cut with a Tim Holtz phrase, some lined paper, and sorry, it folds out. It's not one. It's hard to do this with one hand because it's so big. It's trying to close. And then I got some K & Company frames. I'm gonna send her some extras to decorate with as well. I used die cut negatives for frames. I used embossing folders for frames, and I used these K & Company for frames. Just some little washi that says love. Here's this is out of an old encyclopedia. Again, she said spooky Halloween, and that looks kind of creepy. And then there's some more paper, and that just kind of closes it. The paper tucks behind the little ticket. Here's a little image, creepy image. And then here's, a book page pocket. It says drum set and has some tags. And then right here, she could cut out an image and put it right there. This is embossed. And then let me scroll out. And then we got some lined paper. This was actually supposed to be stitched up a little higher so that this was showing underneath, and it got stitched in lower, but I still think it's okay. So we have the definition of skull from an old vintage dictionary, and then a skull, red, and then this is kind of cool. I printed this. It's a tag, but then it's also got like a little hidden spot with another little tag inside of that. Sorry. And I hadn't added any eyelash trim the first time I had recorded this. But I did go back through, because I was trying to keep it really masculine, but I did go through and add some black and orange trim. The red I just got for Christmas journals, and it's got tinsel in it, so it was a little too much, but I thought the black and orange would be okay. And then I made some of these, like, vinyl leather scraps for tabs. I had just the paper tabs, but I kind of went through with some scraps and added these. And again, I'm going to send her an extra big piece of fabric so she can make some. It's got red die cut tabs at the top, and then the vinyl leather tabs, and then on the side it has these book page and dictionary page ones on some scrapbook paper, and then these. Okay, there is one of her space printouts she sent me. He really liked those. This image is kind of funny looking, but I really, really like this quote, and I thought it was perfect for this journal. It says, happiness is the feeling that your dad is always there to guide you, even if he is in heaven. So I just thought that was perfect for what they're going through, and I left it whole so they can take it off and write on the back or write on this piece of paper that I added about him, or how that makes him feel, or to him, or whatever. And this song was called Feelings, so I thought it went well. It is also really old and vintage. Craft paper, Halloween. Here's some more of that old vintage encyclopedia, and it's got the space theme on it. All of the papers that so I don't have to keep saying it, all of the papers you see like this, they are all space themed, and they are all from a really old vintage encyclopedia. This is the book page pockets that I had. These were the cutoffs, and I didn't want to waste them, so I just made little corner up tucks. And then there's some writing paper, and I made it on this side as well. And this right here is actually a coloring page with a drum set. So I thought one of her kids could take this out and color it. And then also you can write on the back of it as well. If you see these little black marks, I feel so bad. I knew that I was not going to have enough time to distress every little piece in here. Normally I use the Tim Holtz Distress ink, and I distress it all. But since I was running low on time, I tried to do it like Lindsay Zenor does. And she makes it look so easy. You just take your ink pad, like a black ink pad you would use stamps for, and you just slide it across the top. And of course, hers come out perfect. And mine was a wet, hot mess. I mean, I would streak it and then like set it out to dry. And I mean, my hands were black. Everything I touched was turning black. I'd let it dry, and even when I put it back, it would still be black somehow. So I don't know. And there's little Tim Holtz phrases throughout here. This pretty jazz image. Here is a photo frame that I made. So you just tuck your picture down through here, and then she could put his name or the date or something right there. Scrapbook paper, little drum set pocket, some writing paper, ledger paper, some Tim Holtz Halloween paper. There's a skull. I guess he collected skulls, so I tried to add, a bunch of those. He really liked skulls and stuff. Here's the Walking Dead tags. I did not add too much Walking Dead stuff since our kids were going to be using this. Some of the stuff was kind of graphic, and also because since it is for someone who just passed, it was like just survive or stuff like that. And I don't know, it didn't seem like it was in good taste. So I tried to still add the Walking Dead like she liked, but keep it clean, if that makes any sense. Lined paper. So those are just little tags in a pocket, and each signature has a different bag in it. And then since he was a drummer, I printed out this drum key and a little tag. And then here's some photo frames. This one is on the side, this one on the top. And I tried to include lined writing paper next to all the photo frames so they can say like when it was taken or where they were or what they were doing or how it made them feel, or just so they can write about the photo. And there's some more Walking Dead. Family is forever bond. Scrapbook paper. This opens up so you can journal on, the inside and the outside. Here's a little, I cannot believe I can't think of the word, but anyways, here's a little label that they can use. And this is a little flip out, so you have the full page to right here or on the back, the little tag in it, another skull. Try to zoom out a little bit, sorry. I tried to add one of these little quotes on the middle of each signature. Each moment is a gift. And then the middle of each signature has a little photo mat that I made with a die cut negative so they can just slide it in. The second signature is different because I forgot to sew it in, so I'll show you that when I get to it. Here's a really pretty moon image. I thought it was super pretty, so I didn't want to cut it up. So I just paper clipped it on the edge, and then, you can take it off and journal on it. And then right here, I had a hard time finding stuff that was orange. I don't know why that is. Red and black came easy. Orange, I was having trouble. But I found these little, index filing cards. And I had 4 of them in orange, and 2 of them, were a J and an E for James and Elizabeth. I almost said A because James and Alicia. But J and E. And so I thought these would make good photo mats because they're nice and sturdy. She could put a picture of him on the J and a picture of her and him on the E, or, whatever. So I just kind of slid that in. Thought she could maybe make a flip with it on a page or just, mount a photo on it. Whatever she decides to do. There's a little owl. It's Halloween, but, owl moon, so I thought they still went together. I tried to, since there were so many themes, I tried to at least make, the pages match. So it'll be, school with Walking Dead, jazz with drumming, space with, and so you don't have, a skull here and a moon here and a drum here and on the same pages. So I tried on most of them to at least make make what you're looking at flow, since there's so many different themes going on. If that makes sense. Here's the definition of family. Here's a guest check flip, so they can write underneath and on both sides. Walking Dead. And here, I printed out an image that had all these different, like, skeleton. It was like a full skeleton. I cut it up into pieces and made little, like, journaling cards or text spots or whatever. So here's a text spot with a Tim Holtz tag. Tim Holtz paper tag. I made the tag, but it's Tim Holtz paper. Wow. Sorry, guys. This journal is so emotional. I think that's why I'm having a hard time staying focused. Just breaks my heart what she's going through. Here's The Walking Dead. There's Daryl's bow and his hat. There's another tab up there. Skull, washi here. I left all the bags empty so they could add whatever they wanted to, in them. Lined paper. These little bags right here are from the Papered Soul. Laura's got some really cool stuff in her shop. You should definitely check her out, and she makes gorgeous journals as well. Tags, paper, and then here's a little skeleton side tuck with a tag and some paper. Skull. This is actually the bottom of one of the bags that I cut off the end. I unfolded it, and I don't know, I have to use every little piece of everything. So I added that there. Really pretty stopwatch. Page tab. There's the other part of that jazz page. Definition of jazz. Some washi. Here's some of that space paper. It's cool. It has all the spaceships. I think that looks neat. So I thought her kids could also, like, learn some of this stuff as they were going through, like, read about it. Here's one of her journaling cards and the definition for space. Here's some of that Tim Holtz paper, Halloween paper, turned into a tag. It's got the orange as well. Trim. Music paper that I punched. Here's another one of those pieces that I made from that sheet. Hold on. And here's another photo. Some of them are on the top and some of them the sides, so you kind of gotta just be careful and check. And it says father. And then here's a belly band, also with that Tim Holtz paper. And I turned this encyclopedia image into a little pocket index card paper. And these ones I cut up into little bitty journaling card tag thingies. You can tell I'm with it tonight. I recorded this earlier and it was 40 minutes. I was really hoping it would be quicker this time, but it doesn't look like it is, so I'm trying to kind of speed up now. Paper, there's another piece of that bag. Book page pocket with a tag and trim. This is the page right here that I've been saying I cut up. So I printed it once and added it in the journal, and then I printed it again, and then I cut all these pieces out and made them into little cards. Tim Holtz piece here, and this comes out and it opens up like a little booklet so you can write in it. And this definition of school is from a really old one. It's delicate, but look at that image. That was cool. It's cut in a weird shape though, because there's another word there. This is what I mean about those black spots. I'm so sorry. Then we've got that, and this one I believe flips up. Hold on, let me see. This one flips out this way, so they can write underneath here or on the back of here, and then slide a photo in. So I also use these for photos. I tried to do anything and everything I had that I could think of to for photos. Drum. Here's one for space cards. This drummer. Page tab at the top. Another photo mat. This one has not been backed because it had a lot of the info on the back. I thought they might want to read. I figured that they could, if she wanted it backed, they could always read it, and then she could back it onto some coffee dyed paper. Most of them are backed and turned into journaling cards, but I did leave a few that weren't. Definition of space. And all these definitions are out of some really old dictionaries. And there is a big gap right here between the second and third signature that she's going to run a tassel through and put charms, put some of his like Star Trek charms and stuff on, I guess. Here's the third and last one that I had decorated. Journaling card, tag, little label plate, drum set pocket, really cool image of a drum there. Some doodle paper, that's what I call it because it's called doodle paper. Lined paper, and then here's a really big bag right here. I can add stuff. One of those Kane Company frames. The definition of father, which I thought was really neat. One of those little images I cut. It says poison, and then here's a skull. Again, he collected skulls and was a drummer, and sounds like he had a lot of really neat hobbies and interests. There's a bag with a tag, writing stuff. Again, she can cut out an image right and put it right here. It's embossed. And this was supposed to be stitched up a little bit higher so that the collected memories was below it. But it's still below it, just not, just need to be up a little bit more. But it is what it is. And then here's another little photo place. I think it's on the side, so you just slip it in and it'll show here, and you can label it like where you were or when it was taken. One of her space cards and a tag, music paper punched. All the music paper has been punched in the corner. I like to add like little trims and stuff there. Charms, whatever, lined paper. Here's the jazz, and I put the little word jazz there. This little frame, I did not leave an opening because it's so delicate and small, but you could just cut out a little image and place it there or just leave it for decoration. This card is actually from Elizabeth too, and that paper D-stash I bought. Some more stuff for writing. Here's some Walking Dead folded over and some lined paper folded over. And this lined paper is really cool because it's like a tan color, so you don't even have to coffee dye it. Love this paper. And then here's this paper, has the orange in it, the orange and the black in it, so I thought that was neat. It's a little die cut, tags. Here's the definition of skull. I underlined it. All of the dictionary pages throughout here have something to do with what he liked, like skull, jazz, father, whatnot. Moon image. School, ledger, another little photo mount. It says, I love you. Tab, here's a little flip out. Trim and a tab. This I thought was kind of neat. Kind of sad too. I don't know how I feel about it. It says, Leakey was the Russian space dog, was the first animal sent into orbit. He rode in Sputnik 2 in 1957. Studies of animals in space helped pave the way for manned space travel. So I think it's kind of cute. This dog went to space. I just hope he was okay. So hopefully they'll think it's cute. I put a little arrow pointing to it so it kind of stick out for them to read. There's the space image, tab, ledger, little image there. There's a journaling card with a space image out of the encyclopedia label. One of hers from her kit that she has on her page. This is the one I was talking about. This signature, all the other 4 signatures have the photo mat sewed into the middle of the signature, and this one did not get stitched in on accident, so I glued it, and so it's a pocket behind and then a photo in front. And this image right here, hold on, sorry about this, guys. For some reason it really reminded me of Elizabeth, so I left it together and folded it over the images, because she said moon, so there's a moon, but she's got long, dark, flowing hair, so I kind of see this is her just sitting outside looking at the moon, remembering, and looks very peaceful. So yeah, I didn't want to mess up this page, so I left that there, and then she can write on the back or do whatever she wants with it. I'm sorry I have to put the phone down again. Hopefully for Christmas I can get a mount or something, and then I won't have to do that, and you guys won't have to look at a black screen every time. And then here's a Halloween card from Michaels, and I backed it on coffee dyed paper because this ephemera kit from Michaels I got, everything was double-sided, which is neat, but it was really thin. So, oh, it's got an index card. But she said Halloween for one, but also red and black, so I thought that was kind of perfect because it's all of them, red, black, and Halloween. And then there is a tag, Tim Holtz, skull, ledger. There's some of those that I made. Here's the encyclopedia images into a pocket. Encyclopedia page of space. There's a moon image. I've never used construction paper in any of my journals, but I was having a hard time, like I said, coming up with, well, I cannot talk for nothing tonight. Anyway, I tried food colored dyeing some red and orange paper. I tried all night one night, like for hours and hours. And all of the red paper turned out pink, and all of the orange paper turned out peach. No matter what I did. I even tried adding like blue and black to darken it. I mean, I did crazy things, and it just did not work no matter how hard I tried. So I wanted to incorporate some red and orange like she liked, but I didn't have much, so I ended up using construction paper. Plus, you know, it's for kids, and kids like construction paper, but I don't know, for some reason it was bothering me, so almost all of the construction paper has been covered. Anyways, that's my spill on that. School book page, it says Supermoon with some tags. Here's the moon image, dictionary. Here, sorry my kids are being so loud right now. Here's the Walking Dead tags, the little pocket. And this one is kind of like a moon and Halloween in one. Sorry, I might as well show it to you. This is definitely probably going to make me do 2 videos. So I'm running out of time. See, isn't that gorgeous? So you kind of get a twofer. It's Halloween, like she said, and it's a moon, like she said. Apologize again for having to put you down to paper clip this back on. This book is so big that I'm afraid that if I don't do it now, I will forget where it goes or have to spend forever trying to find it. It's just so big. Oh, I didn't even tell you the measurements this time. This journal is 6.5 inches, approximately 6.5 inches wide by 9.5 inches tall with a 4-inch spine. It is huge. So here we go. Here's another one of those pockets, tag, writing space behind it. I'm cutting it to come out of that. Sorry.